afternoon.
See the West Link.
That is the horniest thing I've ever heard.
Oh,
Mervyn!
Bring daddy some of those chicken and waffles.
Mr. Potter.
I feel gushy.
This is unbelievable.
This is absolute chaos. Sippers, welcome to this episode of the Tea With Me podcast with me, Shane Todd. Before we get into this episode, let me point you towards our Patreon. Over there, we just put up the SSE Arena live podcast with Shipyard himself, Kieran Bartlett, find out why he has that nickname, and Dave Elliott, featuring Mark McCabe. What a night, and it's documented there in its full glory. It's on Patreon to watch in your own time, the full version. I'm excited to watch that back because I don't really remember much from that night. Just because I was nervous and I wasn't drinking beer or anything like that. I just don't remember it. So if you were there, you can relive it. If you weren't there, you can feel like you are there. Patreon.com/teawithme podcast. We've got all the usual stuff on, you know by now. We are sponsored by none other than Manscaped. Now, these guys have brought out a new product and nobody could have seen this coming. They brought out the Lawnmower 1.0. They brought out the Lawnmower 2.0. They brought out the Lawnmower 3.0. People said, where will you go from here? They said, about this, the Lawnmower 4.0. You guys are not going to believe what Manscaped have brought out now. It is... That's not it, because I took the one. I took it home. Yeah.
It is.
As you guys know, it was a trick. That's a 4.0. Now, most people, most pube enthusiasts will know that that's a 4.0. That was a trick. Obviously, I mean, I don't even, Dan, can I? I don't care for the 4.0. It's all about the 5.0. Do you know what's gross? I guarantee you someone in the studio has used that. And when I did that,
Vittorio did it last time he was in.
A little bit of pubes. Who? Vittorio used it? For what? For your face?
Yeah.
Did you? Yeah. Was I here?
No.
All right. You guys doing a pod? All right. Kieran's pod?
No, just me.
You guys were doing it?
Yeah, we got a new project on the go.
Do you?
In the studio.
Not in this studio.
It's called V with me.
No, because fucking that Gary bastard stole that anyway. Tea with Gary V can go fuck himself. Enthusiastic wee bastard. Tea with Gary V. I remember the first time someone tagged me in that, and I was like, let's go and see this. Nobody has looked at him. I was like, no, maybe we'll not pursue this as a legal action. You know?
I love, like, outside of, like, the context of the podcast world, if someone in Hollywood was like, that Gary bastard stole that off me, it would mean, like, a kettle.
Fuck him. Look, I don't know what he uses, but Manscaped are top of the game. Men's below the belt grooming. They've got absolutely everything. We talk about them all the time because we love the products. We use them on ourselves. Use the code TEAWITHME for 20% off and free shipping, especially if you're traveling. The new wash bag with the 5.0, lovely, really nice. Did you get the 5.0?
No, the one that was delivered for me was someone ripped it open at the post office and there's nothing in it.
The Brits took
Someone
your... Sorry.
Pubes out. Someone stole your...
Yeah, it's downstairs. It just delivered in like a plastic bag, the empty box.
Let's go around Hollywood checking all the postmen's pubes. Wow. My guest this week is none other than Vittorio Angelone, or as Andrew Ryan referred to him at the gig last night, if I'm right, Vittorio Angelone.
Yeah, probably.
Was that
that happens quite a lot, yeah. I get Vittorio all the time.
But it was like subtle enough where you wouldn't really know.
No.
But I think he said Vittorio.
And I tend to just, like, people always get so stressed.
What's the most common one? Because I get Sean, obviously.
Oh, I wouldn't have thought that was...
Flat out.
Like...
And I take it like a wee bitch. Like, you can call me that if you want. At gigs or anything like that.
And is that over here more?
Everywhere.
Everywhere it's Sean?
Yeah.
That's
people
so
who
strange.
have known me for years will the odd time forget and say Sean, and I never correct them because it looks like I'm not angry about it. You know what I mean? Like if you call me by the wrong name, it doesn't annoy me. So I'm just like, yeah, whatever you want.
Yeah, I'm probably... I mean, I get it with mine. I would be annoyed if my name was Shane and people got it wrong.
Yeah.
But Vittorio, it's like, listen, you maybe
Yeah.
haven't heard it before. It's a bit.
But do you
new
get
on
it
your
spelt
radar.
like gig posters and all? You get it spelt wrong.
Yeah, I've been Vittorio Angelone a million times.
See, in your mind, if you put one T in Dave Elliott's name, which doesn't change his name at all, the guy loses his
He
mind.
flips.
He loses his mind. He treats it like like you could introduce him as like, you know, this big bald hairy guy with a gap in his like 2 front teeth. He would, but call him Dave Elliott on the poster, no problem. If you one T, he loses his mind.
Is
he
he
treats it
of
like disrespect?
Is he of the Halloween costume dynasty?
Elliott's fancy dress store?
Yeah.
No, because you would have led with that the first time I met him. You would drop that in straight away.
Yeah, because that feels like
Imagine-
that's on like Succession level
Imagine their
family
family parties.
dynamics.
Oh.
You wouldn't know who was there.
For anybody who doesn't know, Elliott's is this fancy dress shop in Belfast, and cities change and people change. But what
Elliott's.
doesn't change is Elliott's. The sign out the front, they have no interest in a rebrand or anything.
I don't understand how you feasibly, because it's hard. There's a cost of living crisis. It's tricky to run a business nowadays.
Yep.
How are you year round supporting your family?
Yeah.
With a fancy dress. Like it's a front. It's a front for something.
It's not. It's the only thing. It's the only thing. It's the only thing that's still pure. Is their love of fancy dress.
But who's getting fancy dress in April?
I had to go in. People like me, because I remember I've done like
What did
for
you
shooting
do?
sketches. I've gone in to get so many things. Fake cigarette. Can I
Is
tell
that
you,
the place to go?
they have it.
You can make fake cigarettes. You get a wee bit of paper and then something and then just talcum powder. And then if you, it looks like smoke.
All right.
Yeah.
But
So I'm
no,
putting
support
Elliott's out of
Elliott's.
business.
You'll do Elliott's out of business. I one time wanted to get a fart machine from Elliott's. Not recently, right? Many years ago as a child. And my dad sent me in. And he's like, yes, you can get it in there. It said saved up or something. I don't know, it was 10 or something. And my dad goes, no. And I was maybe, I don't know, 10, 11. My dad goes, no, don't be saying the word fart, obviously. Make sure you say apple tart. And don't be like using bad language. I didn't know my dad was joking. I'm like, oh, okay. And I go in with him. And I was like, could I have an apple tart machine? And the guy's like, we don't do that, kid. And I looked at my dad, and my dad's like, say fart. Like, fart is not a bad word. You can say fart. And I remember being like, I still have like issues over that.
Over the word fart?
No, I just know the like embarrassment I felt
That'll cause you to have
of
trust
asking
issues for the
an
rest of your
apple
life.
tart machine.
Yeah, that's bad.
Although, if anyone's going to do it, it's Elliot.
What's the like, because you're a dad now.
By the way, that machine had a remote.
How far is the range?
I would say 15 feet. Enough,
That's not far.
enough to have a great time
Yeah.
at your granny's house. You know what I mean? Because
Fart
it would do
machine,
different
like, that's-
noises. Yeah, yeah.
That's like just an AI whoopee cushion, isn't it?
That's what I've always said. Now, what were you gonna ask me there? You should been to that.
Your dad, what do you have like? Because there is an age pre-8 where fart is a bit like, don't be saying fart.
No, it's fine.
Fart's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Do you not have any alternates? Trouser cough.
Trouser cough?
Yeah.
Is he not the guy that put in poison? No, the guy that was in the bed.
Alexandria trouser cough.
That's him.
The Salisbury poisoning.
Trouser cough. Remember that guy? Nothing to do with trouser cuffs. Remember that guy who was part of like that Russian like private army, and he was like, "I'm overthrowing Putin. I've had enough of his shit with this whole Ukraine thing."
Yeah, what's his name?
And but it went nuts for he like got really into it for a few days, and then he basically had to go, "Lads, I made a mistake.
There's a publicity stunt.
Hold my hands up.
Yeah.
I fucked this up."
Yeah.
But that was quite a turnaround.
Because we all thought that he like it was one of those weird things where like somehow he attacked Putin politically from further on the right wing.
Yeah.
He was like,
Nobody
he
saw
was
that
calling
coming.
Putin gay and all. He was like, would you stop being such a lib? You're too woke.
But then he just came out and was like, aye, boys will be boys.
Yeah,
It's like
boys
a-
will be boys.
yeah,
Let him
I
away
fucked
with
it.
it. Have a good one.
Um,
Enjoy.
No, I would let my kid say the word fart, definitely.
Farts okay?
Yeah. I think the more you try and come up with these alternatives, it might make them seem weird by the time they get to school.
I didn't swear until I was about 15.
Sibbers, let me take one quick minute to interrupt this episode to say this episode of the Tea With Me podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp. BetterHelp make professional therapy accessible, affordable and convenient to anyone struggling with life's challenges. You can get help anytime, anywhere. That's the beauty of it. You know, you don't have to go to a building for this. You know, you don't have to feel weird about traveling to do this very personal thing. You can have some therapy in your house, in your bed, in your shed, in your conservatory, wherever you, in the bath. Careful with a laptop, but wherever you would like to be, even your phone, you can do it on your phone. Therapy gives you the tools to deal with stress and challenges that we all face. You know, I think definitely here in this part of the world, we can be a little bit hesitant to try something like therapy. You know, it feels like something people would do, you know, in a city as far away as London or Hamburg. You know, but listen, we can do it too. If you haven't tried therapy before, BetterHelp make it as simple and possible and easy to get started. You just fill in a short questionnaire and they set you up with a therapist. They have over 1,000 therapists. Whoa, that's a lot of therapists. You can find your bright spot this season with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/teawithme. It's in the description to get 10% off your first month. That is BetterHelp, HELP.com/teawithme. As I say, the link's in the description. You can find out way more about that. I know a lot of people who have used BetterHelp and they talk so well about it. Let's get back into this episode. I didn't swear a lot either.
And the gradation, like I think the first ones I tried were like
Eased into it?
bitch and crap.
Yeah, crap was a great one.
Because crap's
Oh,
not,
crap.
but it is.
It's what?
It's not a swear word, but like it is.
Well,
It's entry level.
is crap allowed on TV?
Yeah, but not all the time.
Like, they weren't saying it on Biker Grove.
Yeah, nobody's saying crap on Rastamouse.
No. But crap's a gateway, isn't it? The
Crap
shit.
is a get.
Before you know it, you're saying shit. I remember once, it's like something from a movie, being out with a load of mates in the fields by where we lived, and going on a tirade of swear words for a laugh, and people being like, and I'm like, shut up and all, and I keep saying swear words, and my dad had been behind me, and it was one of those like slow motion, like, oh, and I wasn't allowed to swear really.
How did they see him? How did they see him?
He's behind me.
Oh, he's very small, I thought.
He is very small, you're right, but this is when I was maybe 8.
Right, yeah.
So
yeah,
we were
yeah. So
he was about a
towering
foot
over
higher
you.
than me
Yeah,
then.
yeah,
And I remember once, because my dad told me he never swore. That's why I didn't swear. He's like,
Which,
I don't swear.
in hindsight, biggest lie ever.
I played golf with him when I was maybe 11 or 12, and then he like sliced the shot, and then 3 seconds later I went, they're all the swear words. He said them all. So then as soon as that happened, he fucked the shot up. He said all the swear words, and then he went, you can swear now. And I was allowed to just swear all the time. There was no he never eased me into it. He was like,
Yeah.
you can say any word you want now, which was great. But then I never, because I was allowed to, I didn't overdo it. You know what I mean?
We had a teacher who was like a substitute teacher in our school. But you know there's like regular substitute teachers who would be in fairly consistently.
Yep.
Mr. Sinnerton, there was a rumour he played for Chelsea at one point. Don't think
He started that.
Yeah, I definitely think so. But he was
23 stone. Aye, boy.
Me and Drogba. But yeah, he came in and we were doing. Did you do LLW? Learning for Life and Work?
Maybe.
Like the most bullshit subject of all time.
Don't think so.
I swear some people did it for GCSE, but it was like when you were really scraping the barrel. For
So what
GCSE
would be
subjects.
in it? Learning for life and work.
So it's like
How to pay onto a bus.
Yeah, but also that underneath the umbrella of LLW was RSE. Did you do RSE?
Don't know what it is.
Religious sexual education.
No.
That was religious sexual education.
What's the difference in sex education and religious sex education?
The music? No, the
So who was taking this?
So Mr. Sinnerton was in as a sub one time and kind of
Full Chelsea tracksuit.
and he comes in and he goes, right, let's because basically it was such a broad like learning for life and work. It's like whatever. This is the class where anything happens.
Right.
And most of the time we just watched like Remember the Titans.
Right. Great film.
And we're like, look, have you heard about Remember the Titans? Like, do you know the way it's like based on a true story?
Mm-hmm.
Every other team in the league also had black players.
Oh, right. I hate finding stuff like that out. Not that teams had black players. Not that. Whoa, back up here. I mean, I don't like finding out that a film that's based on an event didn't happen. The event wasn't real. Was a fart machine to break attention? Sorry, yeah.
But he comes in and he goes, right, I'm going to put 1 minute on my watch and I want you to all say every single swear word that you know. Just because in RSE, the boys and girls got split up into different classrooms.
Right. This will kill the algorithm for this episode. But I'm going to time 10 seconds and I want you to say as many swear words as you can. Right? So hang on. And just say as many as you can, right? Ready, steady, go.
Fuck, shit, cunt, wank, piss, tits, bastard, bitch. Sorry, now my head's full of slurs.
That's what I was hoping to do there. Lure you in with it. The swearing was a gateway for a slur.
I didn't even say crap.
No. Hey, don't say that.
What the hell?
Right, so sorry, go ahead.
So we all rattle them all off. And then he goes, right, you've had your fun. Now let's make sure you actually know what you're saying when you're saying these things. So he'd like written down all the ones that he heard people say. And then he would like say it and be like, anyone want to know? Anyone want to tell me what this means?
Yeah.
And so he starts and he goes, cunt. And we're all like, he said cunt. And he go, who wants to tell me what cunt means? And there's this guy in my class who's from the markets, and he just put his hand up. I went, yes, sir. Mr. Sinnerton goes, okay. And he goes, it's a dirty fanny.
Yeah.
And my same guy, his name was Raymond.
Like he's not laughing, he's like, no, sorry,
no, he's like, that means a dirty fanny.
Yeah, yeah.
Because there's fanny and then there's like cunt. That's
Yeah.
why it's different, because it's like dirty.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. Wild. But he was one of my favourite people of all time. His name's Raymond.
Right.
And in French class, he would go, je m'appelle Ramo, je be the markets.
What, do you still in contact with him?
No, I haven't seen Ramo in a long time. Maybe he's dead.
Hmm.
Don't know. It's tough in the markets though, you know. But anyway, we had RSA, religious sexual education. We had that like the whole way through, and it was just like occasionally it was done by a priest, which is probably a bad idea. To
Or
be
trap.
like, this is yeah.
You're saying sex terms. He goes, now who wants to know what that is?
I'll show you.
Yeah. Name as many as you can. Yeah.
He goes, I don't like that one.
Oh, those guys are wild.
They were bad boys. But I remember a very few things. I remember one funny thing a guy in our class did when we were like 11 is, you know, you're going to, like they were talking about, you're going to get body hair. This is what it's going to be like when you go through puberty. You're going to get like, body hair. Look, it's not going to happen overnight. And a guy just goes, ah!
I remember a video in biology about armpit hair, pubes, all that kind of stuff. And there was boys in class who already were getting that.
Yeah.
We were maybe like 14.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember being like, any day now. And then at 15 being like, any day now.
Were you late?
Yeah, probably.
I think I was pretty late. Did you get the weird nipples? Did you not get weird nipple? I got like
Nipple hair?
no, like sore nipples.
Nope.
Yeah, it happens to some boys. It's called
Nah, nobody in here, man.
gynecomastia.
Right.
It's basically where you get like little like
Yeah, I thought he played for West Ham, though. I think he was on loan from Sampdoria.
we get like puffy sore nipples. For like 2 years.
Yeah.
It's so brutal.
It's cute that your mum and dad made up a term to you to make you feel less weird, because no one's had this.
It's a thing.
It's not, man.
Gynecomastia. Pull that up.
So, here's what I'll say.
Just Google young boy with puffy nipples.
Now, I don't really have nipples. As in, mine, I said it before in the podcast, my nipples don't protrude at all. You know, it's flat there.
Right.
The nipple doesn't come out.
What diameter are we talking?
Smaller.
Small?
Now, we could edit this and make me look, this could be very funny, this could be really immature, you being like, what size? And I'm like, smaller. Like, there's nothing there. Like,
Are you going to get your nipple out?
yeah.
I'd say that's because I've
Look at it from the side. It's there, a problem.
yeah, but I've quite big nipples,
Yeah.
and they're not.
I would have assumed.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Did I strike you as a big
fucking
nipple boy?
antennas, yeah.
They're not big.
No,
They're not.
they are.
I don't have tall nipples.
Okay.
They're like broad.
Right.
I've got like quite a big diameter.
Yeah.
I think, and I was always slightly insecure about that. But what happens with the gynecomastia is you get little like balls in your nipples of like soreness, and I think it's like an overproduction of estrogen, and it's basically you kind of are slightly growing tits, so you slightly do puberty in the wrong direction for a wee bit, and then go back.
Really?
Yeah.
That's nuts. Anyone? Have you ever had?
Usually due to a hormone imbalance.
Yeah.
So actually, you were kind of going through like what a girl was going through.
I think slightly, yeah, but I think it's something that people who take like steroids get, because their testosterone goes way down because they're taking testosterone, and then they get puffy nipples and soreness.
Yeah, I was always conscious about it. I was so skinny, like painfully skinny when I was a kid, and I was all weird about that.
I was kind of like a soft boy,
Oh yeah.
like just kind of not fat, but just doing nothing a wee bit for a long time.
Yeah.
And then, but there was guys in the year who were just fucking like yoked,
Beards, stubble, all that
and
kind
like
of stuff.
hench.
Yeah.
It's just like they shouldn't be. They should be put in a different changing room, I think.
But I still, you know, you see someone in upper sixth on a bus and be like, I feel like I'm not developed like that at all yet, even now.
Yeah, maybe one day.
You know what I mean? Like when I think back to boys in my year, like the boys who were like that, I now think they're older than me now. Does that make sense?
As in them then is older than you now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get that. I'll just never.
Like
I'll never look like that.
I see guys I used to go to school with. You see someone out and about, and you go, it feels like you're 10 years older than me.
Yeah.
Like, and I thought that when I left school, say 2 years after leaving school, I'd see someone I used to go to school with, and they'd be like, you know, they'd maybe have a beard and they're bald or whatever.
Oh, the bald ones freak me out.
And they've got a gilet on, and like they've got
At
two
21
kids.
and they're just full
Yep.
bald.
But in my head, now I think that they're older than me then. No. Say someone I used to go to school with, when I see them at like the age of 20,
Yeah.
I think I'm not as old as that now.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
yeah. Bald beard kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's crazy. I remember I was sat with a guy once who like left school at 16, and that's like the big that fork in the road.
Yeah.
Somebody just
I
goes
did it.
into like, what'd you do? Did you go to like the tech, or what did you?
Oh,
Because you weren't like an
Oh,
apprentice. You don't strike me as a guy who's been on the tools.
yeah, man, working away. No, obviously not. Right, look at my skin. I know I couldn't do anything like that. I was told basically, like the school were like, you're not coming back. Not that it was behaviour or anything. They're just like, it was quite a looking down on your attitude, and it was like, well, we know you're not coming back. So with careers and stuff, it was like, look at other avenues to go down, but you'll not be back here. Say you had to get 10 points in your GCSEs to get back. In my mocks, I did so unbelievably bad.
Yeah.
Say I got 6 points or something like that. What did the big man do for his real GCSEs? Got 1 point more than you needed to get back in.
What letters? I don't get this points thing.
So
What
say an
letters did you
A,
get?
something like an A is worth 2, a B is worth 1 or something.
What did you get in your GCSEs? What letters did you get in your GCSEs?
Something like this. A, 2 B's, a C, 2 D's, and a double E.
A
Something like
double
that.
E?
Double E in science, mate.
Just science? Like single award?
Double award
just
science.
Double award science?
Double award science.
Oh, so 2E. Oh, okay,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I was quite good.
Yeah, I
But
can,
I
I
still
can see
wanted to
that.
kind of leave school.
Right.
Like, I was convinced, I was saying to my dad, like, I just want to be like a bricklayer.
Right.
Can I just go do that? I hate being in school. I hate being in a
Yeah.
classroom. Can I just go be a bricklayer? My dad's an architect, so I was like, spend time on building sites. And he was like, right, do you want to come home every day and your hands are bleeding? And I was like, no. And he was like, fucking go to school then.
Yeah.
But 1 A star, 7 A's, 2 B's.
Oh, why? That blows my mind. You could actually, people can do that.
But that was like bad. I think I cried.
I remember going in to study leave for your GCSEs.
Yeah.
You could go into school for that if you wanted. I did that because I was like, that's going to seem like I'm
Working.
working, and they're gonna leave you to it in school. They'll
Yeah.
be like, well, these guys have made the decision to come in the uniforms and all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
When I say, I know people would say this and try and sound cool, but it's not cool at our age to say this. When I say I did no revision at all for my GCSEs, I mean I did no revision at all. And I've kind of lived my life by that because I actually achieved more than people thought I would and more than I thought I would by doing no work. So it's taught me. And listen, kids, you can put a lot of pressure on yourself and you can sit and learn and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But you can also take a chance and do absolutely nothing. And just by luck and a bit of fluke, and you can do it. So I was so proud of myself when I got those results because not only had I exceeded what people thought I could
Yeah,
do,
you done fuck
I done
all.
fucking nothing to
earn it.
to earn that. I done nothing. Like when I opened, I couldn't believe it. Like when I opened those results, I was over the moon. And then I knew I was going to tech, and I felt like sort of like fuck you a bit to the school. You know, I was like, I've done this.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not coming back no matter how much they asked. They never asked.
They never.
There was never. Is he come back? It was just done.
Yeah.
But tech was. I've talked about it on the pod a little bit before, but being 16 and getting to wear your own clothes
Yeah.
and getting the bus into the city centre every day, having that like freedom and having girls in your class.
Were you?
I went to an all boys school.
I was mixed.
I hated that. I hated it.
Do you think that fucks you up a bit?
I wouldn't go that far. I would just say it was frustrating because, and people go, oh, but you act silly around girls and that kind of thing. It's like, yeah, but I don't. I would try hard. I would have tried harder if there was girls in the class because I wouldn't have wanted to look stupid in front of girls. But I didn't care doing badly in a class test or something because it was just low fells.
Yeah, but you get like proximity emotions
What does that mean?
when there's girls there. So like I was convinced I was in love with a girl for I think 7 years,
Yeah.
but it's just because she was next on the register. So we sat beside each other in like every lesson. Like in hindsight, that's why.
Yeah.
She was just the nearest.
Alphabetically,
the
she was.
just
right.
the nearest girl to me.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck, she's great.
But I remember there was a all girls school used to come and use our school's swimming pool, and when they pulled in,
That's a
into the car
sitcom
park,
moment.
the
That's
boys would
crazy.
lose their minds. So it did make you like primitive almost or something.
Yeah.
Like when you finally got the mixed girls, it was like, it's amazing. But
Yeah,
but going to
there's-
tech was the
Being
best.
kept away from each other.
And you were
but then
talked to
go-
like a
a grown up.
grown up.
You're young adults now.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
what they say.
Brilliant.
But you never had, so you didn't even get into the realms of like RSE from then. So yeah, they would just teach us about like common and stuff mostly.
Yeah.
Like they would be like, this is what's gonna happen, and they would like be like, oh, you might get like a wet dream,
Yeah.
which I've never had. I don't think.
I had a couple of them
Yeah.
at that at that formative age.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
14, 15, something like
Yeah.
that. I did.
You're just bursting with cum.
Yep. it was weird.
Yeah,
was
I'm
definitely
sure.
weird.
And were you? Did you know what it was, or was it like, what's this?
I think I knew.
Yeah. So they just prepped us for stuff like that, and then they talked about like masturbating, and then I remember specifically one of the teachers being like, when you come, it'll be like a teaspoon amount.
Yeah.
And my whole life since then, I think every time I've come, I've gone, is that?
What do you want me to find out? I know.
Heaped? That feels heaped.
I know what it was that I saw during the day that made me think about it that night. I think when I was kind of sleeping.
Oh,
It was-
so you know
I think so.
the stimulus for the wet dream?
There was. there was. There was an Ali. No, hear me out on this. There was an Ali G book, right? Like a hardback book of Ali G, and I was big into Ali G at the time, and I thought he was hot. No, and in it was just like stuff he thinks is cool. Obviously, in the character of Ali G, so he's got a section on like rappers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then there was just a page, and Santa brought me this. There was a page in it with these two black girls that were just in pants, and they were kind of like faced away from the camera to hide their chest. You didn't really see anything, but they looked like they were just about to get off with each other, and that fucked me up that whole Christmas. I couldn't think about anything else. I loved it. I saw that in the book, and I was like, "Oh, Santa, I've been a good boy." I must have been a really good boy to get this, and I couldn't believe. I looked at that all the time, and then I think I was thinking about that when I was going to bed, and I think that's what it is.
It's funny your first introduction to things of like, do you remember your first like causal boner? So like you got a boner, but you know why you got a boner?
Oh no.
I remember mine. Do you remember Epic Movie? Like the spoof of all the different movies. So it was like a spoof of every single superhero movie.
Oh,
ever,
okay.
and, like,
No, I
all
don't
them. There
remember.
was kind of like a run of them, kind of like Scary Movie.
Oh yeah.
Like in that world, but like
Right.
not a scary, but like an epic one. And there was like a spoof of that like blue girl from X-Men.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the one who can like change shape or whatever.
Yeah.
And she was like with a guy, and he was like, "Make your tits bigger," and she did, and I was like, "That's crazy." But I remember the first thing that I would like dip into regularly was on my iPod. You know, the ones with the
Oh yeah.
the wheel. The music video to "Hey Mama" by the Black Eyed Peas.
Is it just Fergie in that, or was there what was happening?
There's like lots of women in it, but it was also on a screen that is
Brilliant.
that size.
Yeah.
That size. But that
Brilliant.
was my first kind
music videos were like your introduction to it.
Yeah.
Like when it got a little bit hot in the video.
And then I studied music at uni, and that's probably why.
In the hope there'd be a video like that.
Like, where's Fergie?
Well,
I'm playing the fucking
I'm
clock.
trying to remember who the first. That's what you call it. I'm trying to remember the first like pop star or someone that I was like, oh my god, that really like. It wasn't Britney for me. It was Britney for I'd say most people in my year, but
I think mine was Megan Fox for a lot of people.
right.
Megan Fox when she was just coming onto the scene, and everyone was like, "What?
Yeah,
People can look like that?
yeah.
That's crazy."
Does anyone remember who it was for you? Like the first person you were like, oh wow.
I think Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Oh yeah, that's
Who's
such a
that?
shout. Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Oh right, yeah.
That's such a shout. Do you know who I nearly fancied more than her? Is her mate,
The guy?
Angel.
The guy with the wee horns.
David Bonus, whatever he was called. Bones, him. No, who was the girl that was in American Pie?
Alison something.
Yeah, I liked her in Buffy a lot. I think she got off with girls in it or something. Was there something about that or something?
I don't remember that.
Something about that or something.
Frosty was it for you? That was true in Buffy, yeah. Yeah. Oh,
There was a girl in it. There was her sister as well, had the dark hair.
can't remember.
Remember
Who was it for you? Do you remember who it was for you?
She was too nice as well. It was Sarah Michelle Gellar for me also.
Oh, really?
But then all the like your Jennifer Aniston's, Courtney Cox's, your friends casts.
Do you know Sarah Michelle Gellar's husband, Freddie Prinze Jr.?
Not personally.
Do you know who his dad was like?
A
One
comedian?
of the biggest comedians of his
Freddie
generation.
Prinze. I've
Yep.
heard of him.
Yep. Isn't
Yeah,
that nuts?
Yeah, mad. But I remember like, because this is, and like it's become like a bit hack for comedians to talk about like finding porn in the forest.
Yeah.
Like everybody talks about, but I mean it was a thing that we
I just
all.
cut a bit out of my newest hour that had that in it. Like literally.
But just lots of
Yes.
comedians have mentioned the fact.
I
that,
do
like,
acknowledge in the set that this is a
it's a spoken about
Yes.
thing. People mention it a lot that
Yeah.
you would just be in the forest and there would be porn there.
Yeah.
We'd a guy who lived down the road who will remain nameless, but he was like 10 doors down from me, and I went to school with him, and he had like an anthology of nuts magazines
Right. Oh, yeah.
underneath his mattress,
yeah.
and like his cousins had given them to him or something,
Right.
which is like weird.
Don't want to hand it down.
But we would go round to his house and like just look at them
Yeah.
like together.
Mm-hmm.
Like we would all look at them, which is like weird, but it was all we had. And also in hindsight, I think like magazine, like Nuts magazine, it's like there's a nostalgia there.
Oh, wow.
There's a real. It's like vinyl.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You
It's
just-
our generation's vinyl.
I feel like I have more of a connection with those women than Fergie, for example.
Yes. Like a Lucy Pinder.
Yeah, or Sophie Howard.
Yes.
Yeah.
Abby Titmus. What was she called? Jodie Marsh. Jodie Marsh. She's saving animals now in a sanctuary.
The heavy hitters.
Oh, she had heavy hit. Heavy titters. Cut that out. I'm only joking, keep it.
But so we would go
Go
around.
check out the work she's doing with that animal sanctuary because it is fucking. She's dedicating her life to it.
That's incredible stuff.
Yeah.
Patreon.com/ Abby Titmus.
No.
No, Jodie
Jodie
Marsh. Jodie Marsh. But we would go around. Do you know when like Superman visits the sun
Mm-hmm.
to like charge up
Yeah.
and like get his powers back?
Yeah.
Basically, we would all go to there and like look at it
Right.
and just.
Yeah. Remember all the time being on the bus, the 3A bus back from tech, because that's when I would have got it. That was one of the perks of leaving school and going into city centre. You know, you would get like once a week or something, you would get Nuts magazine
Yeah.
and maybe like, you know, a packet of sweets for the way home.
Yeah.
No one's going to tell you couldn't buy sweets, right? You can buy sweets now because you're getting that EMA money as well. Do you know about that?
Got EMA, yeah.
Education maintenance allowance, £30 a week. Woohoo!
I remember
Unbelievable.
thinking that they were the most minted people in the world.
Oh, do you know what I used to do as well? I would let them build up for a while, and then I'd come in with a big stack, get the dough. EMA money, you were getting 30 quid a week, fucking unreal.
That's crazy, man.
And I remember sitting on the 3A bus reading Nuts or Zoo. Zoo was the
Yeah,
if you
Zoo
didn't
was
have
the competitor.
Nuts, you get Zoo. But I think I had a moment of realization of like, this is not an acceptable on the bus magazine. Maybe some woman beside you, like, you know, with a baby or something, like, you know what I mean? You're just like full tits, but you're like, you know, you're just reading an interview with Danny Dyer, like, no, it's just for the, you know, it's for this. Or the jokes, the jokes
journalism.
page. Remember the jokes page, and it was good. That was because that kind of came out. There was like, you know, you had FHM and Maxim and stuff before that, which were kind of trying to be more classy.
It's
or
like, look at this nice fashion lingerie.
yeah, but it would be like, you know, men's fashion. Also, like, okay, there was the pin-ups and stuff like that. There was cars, but Nuts fully went, forget the fashion, forget the cars.
Yeah.
Tits and jokes. That's what they like.
I don't even remember the jokes at all.
Oh, the joke page was good.
Yeah?
the joke
Do you
page
think there
was
was like a generation of comedians who like
Took-
part of their little bucket list of comedy?
Or they
Like
told,
it was like Live at the Apollo, a joke in Nuts
Get a Nut.
magazine.
yeah,
And
yeah.
that was kind of their...
I thought you were gonna say comedians who told their wives they had to buy nuts. For like, I got to research here. I loved all that. That was a different time, wasn't it?
But we just... But like, you had it.
Yeah.
I had to just go around 10 doors up and
Yeah.
then just run home with...
I remember watching porn for the first time at a mate's house. He was like,
First time I watched porn, I was on a bus.
right?
Yeah, on the way to a basketball match. Somebody like handed me a phone
Yeah.
that had it on it. And I was
Yeah.
like,
You could never, and you always wanted to just be like, okay, here, and like, or, you know, be really cool about it. You couldn't, you froze.
you couldn't look away.
I had to, there was like 10 witnesses to this. At my friend Sean and Martin's house,
Mm-hmm.
it was like during the summer, the man and I were out working. We're in their house. They put it on a PC. Showed it, like, what do you think of this? And everyone's like, laughing and all. As the laugh died down, what punctuated it was my brick along inhaler. My inhaler. I had to take my inhaler. I was like, I can't cope with this.
Well, because it taps into like a very primal part of your mind.
Yep.
And
I remember
everything just goes on high alert.
I don't know if I've said this before. I remember being in the limelight. Remember school discos in the limelight?
Yeah, I got kicked out of like an under 14s disco at Mandela Hall. I remember that.
Last week. They were like, you were going out age, everyone was like 18, 19, 20.
Okay, yeah.
But it was themed school disco. So
Right.
cheesy music and all that kind of thing. People
Right.
wore
Did you wear
uniforms.
like uniform? Yeah.
Some
yeah,
people
yeah.
did. I think so. I think you wore a white shirt or something. And I remember the first time I saw two girls kissing on the dance floor. And I was like, people were pointing it out like, oh, look at that. And I was like, I can't move from this spot.
That's crazy.
I can't, like, I wasn't
just-
like, lads. I was just like,
Hi.
you know that like gif of the guy
Yeah.
coming out from the trees. Like, that was me, man. I couldn't do anything about it.
That's very strange. But all those like discos and things, I remember like I went to that. It was called Inferno at Mandela Hall. It was like under 14s disco.
Right.
And my like the aim was to like have my first kiss that night, because I was like, everybody goes to Inferno and everybody just like shifts somebody. That's just like the done thing.
Yeah.
But you didn't know how to do any of it. I was wearing
Do you mean how to initiate it or how to even execute it?
either.
Any of it.
I just had no idea how to get in it. And I was a late. I remember
You were
people-
late snogger?
Yeah, I remember people making fun of me
Right.
for not having kissed anyone.
I
And
think I was snogging in 1999.
You're pre-millennium snogging. You snogged pre 9/11. It was different then.
It was so different then. Yeah, I remember doing it because I thought the Millennium Bug was going to ruin it all. So I was like, I'm going to get it in now.
Gotta get it before Y2K.
Yeah, I think 1999, but go ahead.
1999. So what age was your first snog?
Probably first year in school, probably 11, 12.
See, this is what everybody was having. I was 14, snogless.
Right.
And
Because the
people-
longer you leave it, the more conscious you get about it, the weirder you, weirder
you just
feel.
got to get out of it. And like obviously normally the Catholic thing is just go to the Gaeltacht, get it out of the way.
Right,
Like everybody just does that. But I didn't do Irish at school.
right.
So didn't have that. So I was right, I'm just going to go to this because that's where everybody kisses everybody. But just had no idea. So I went in, walked around the dance floor, and my mate Tom would just tap a girl
Yeah.
on the shoulder and just point at me.
Of course.
And I was wearing black skinny jeans, white trainers, and then like a black cardigan with a red shirt, but the shirt didn't exist. Like the shirt was
Built in?
Yeah, built-in shirt to the
Yep.
cardigan.
Yep.
From like
Would that have been around the time of like the standard top you wore was like a t-shirt that V'd in slightly and had like two buttons?
yeah,
know
in and
that?
around that time.
Right, yeah.
yeah. The,
And
like,
two t-shirts was a big thing as well.
was two t-shirts a
Yeah,
big
you'd
thing?
wear a t-shirt under your t-shirt.
Because
You could
after
see-
the wee button t-shirts, which haven't come back, and I hope they never do come back, because they were
They're the
evil
worst.
and
They were
bad.
the worst.
But like a couple of years after that, everybody had a t-shirt with Rihanna on it,
Yeah.
and they would wear
Yep.
a big white Rihanna t-shirt, chinos, and then white like Adidas high tops,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what everybody wore for a while.
Yep.
It's so strange.
Awful.
But I went in, and he would just point at me, and girls would just go,
Yeah.
and I go on to the next one, just tap a girl on the shoulder, and just
So
point.
he's not. I think part of the blame is on him because I think as a wingman, if you want to call it that, you need to go in with a bit of listen, this young gentleman here,
Yeah.
Or no, you go in.
Or
You
you
say,
just like, hey, how's it
you say-
going?
no, not a hey, how's it going? We're
What?
too young for that. At 14, you don't say hey, how's it going.
You just
I didn't ask anyone how's it going until I was like 19.
will you meet my mate? Is that the?
Would you meet my mate? Would you kiss my mate? Would you go with my mate? I think he's done you the service there.
Yeah, he
You know?
wasn't.
I think you've got to be an 11 out of 10 for just
For just a point.
For a
yeah,
point.
yeah, yeah. And I
because
yeah.
what that suggested is words won't do this man justice. Look at this face, and then it's me or you just awkwardly. So it didn't happen that night.
I had a panic attack and had to leave. I had a panic attack. Bouncers thought I was on drugs. Kicked me out. And my dad came and shouted at them.
Oh yeah,
My son was trying to have a good night.
he's just trying to snog a wee girl.
I'm not leaving here. Till somebody snogs my son.
If they don't use well, one of you get off with
Kiss him. Kiss him.
your dad just going around girls. Now, excuse me. My son's a lovely young man. I used to do stand up about this. When I went on my first date when I was 12, as in first like
Meeting a girl.
not a school disco. That's where I'd done my snogging before. The school disco, perfect for it, unbelievable. Like that's why everybody was there,
Yeah, that's the whole.
and it was about
I didn't know that. I think. I
Back-
think that was my problem. I didn't know that the school disco was like. I remember the Halloween school disco. People were like ready to do whatever.
yeah.
But I dressed up as Marvin the Paranoid Android.
Right.
Do you remember from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy? The guy with the big fucking.
Yeah.
So I put a lampshade on my head.
You're
No.
literally creating a barrier.
Yeah.
Right. I remember at the school discos, it was too easy, but with hindsight, you were focused.
Fucking weird flex, but okay.
No, I mean that's why it was fish in a barrel for everybody.
Yeah.
For everybody.
Yeah.
And I do remember it was a lot more about quantity over quality. You were almost having a competition with yourself where you were like, how many girls can I kiss?
Yeah.
That was the thing.
But girls were doing that as well. I heard tell of this. Girls would have like slut races to see how many boys they could kiss in one disco.
Well, the boys were doing that too.
The first girl I ever kissed, she told me that when she was at Clubland, which was like a Ball and the Hench underage disco thing,
Yeah.
she shifted 16 boys in a night.
I'll say this, at an Energy 106 disco at the Ice Bowl, circa 2001, I put in serious numbers. And I mean serious numbers.
What, like ballpark?
I'm going to guess, I'm not lying, more than 25.
There's no way. There's no way.
More
There's
than
no
25.
way you're rocking 25 at the Ice Bowl.
It was more than 25. I was not interested in the music. I was not interested in anything else. And
You didn't
like,
even have ice skates on.
do you know what I'd say
You were
is-
walking around the ice rink.
I had a mate who was just brilliant at his job.
Great.
I'm
ring
sure he's a used car salesman right now, and I'm sure he's like the top man because he's going around being like, "Oh, this fella here got a great deal on this guy here. You can't afford to knock it off of him." He was brilliant, and and then I would do the same for him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So honestly, I think at a 4-hour rave, I think you're getting through 25, no problem. Back in those days, I think that's roughly what it was.
That's crazy.
But,
But you were experienced by that point.
At that point,
That's unbelievable. Because I was 14.
at that point, I was even like, I was even you know, sometimes you're snogging over that side. I knew to sometimes
you were
shift it over.
ambidextrous.
Yeah.
With your kisses.
Yeah.
That's unreal.
Yeah.
Because I was very late to kissing, but quite early to fucking.
Yeah, I love you. You're like, I fully like got with a girl when I was 9. Like, I didn't snog till I was 15.
Not pre.
but,
It wasn't pre
it was,
kissing.
it was. You're bodying them up in primary school, then you're like,
Don't
"Listen."
kiss me.
Yeah.
I'm saving myself. Just fucking.
So are you saying the time between your first kiss and the first time you had, I don't know if I can say this, intercourse, wasn't that long?
First kiss 14, first shag 15.
Wow, that's a
Yeah.
quick. I mean, that's
It
a quick
ramped up.
induction period
It ramped up. Yeah.
because you'd been denied the kissing for so long.
Yeah.
You were like, oh,
Yeah, it was nuts. It was crazy.
you're like contestant on Supermarket Sweep. Where do you go first with the trolley? And Dale Winton was weirdly there. Well done, Vittorio. I don't know if that's Dale
Is he
Winton
dead?
person. Oh, I.
Yeah,
As
he did
fuck.
that.
Yeah.
They just lined up all the flowers at the side of the grave and fucking.
I don't know. It would be great trolling if he wasn't. You know the way people are like, Tupac's not dead.
Yeah, I don't think
It'd be
Dale.
classic if it was like
I
Dale
don't
did
think
that.
there's loads of Dale Winton conspiracy theories. Was he Bring on the Wall? I loved that.
Oh, the show.
Yeah.
Bring
Bring on the Wall.
He was the master of that for a while, for all that kind of stuff.
And you go through the wall,
Oh yeah.
the hole in the wall.
And he did the lottery as
Which
well.
is different to like our hole in the wall.
Oh, I think he knows his way around the hole in the wall.
There's 3 kinds of hole in the wall. There's Dale
He's doing
Winton.
up there right now.
There's Dale Winton. Bit of that.
Yeah.
And then there's that girl in Amsterdam.
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear? But you hear about the girl in
It
Amsterdam?
was a lie. I knew straight away it was a
No,
lie.
but she, like, it took ages. But like, she was up against this wall for ages and ages.
It's not
And
what
then
I
it
thought it
turned out.
It's not what I thought it was.
It turned out on the other side of the wall, it was loads of Nazis, and she had to stop writing her diary.
I thought you were talking about that girl who sucked off her dad.
That's a joke.
Oh man, that's so disrespectful. I hated that that rumor, that fake story.
Yeah, it was
Of the
around
girl
like a
glory
few
hole.
weeks ago.
How do you not? You see straight away that didn't happen.
Oh, I
That-
thought
that
you
didn't
you know
happen.
your dad's dick.
Oh, you know what that? You know that texture. But yeah, it's like I saw something recently on TikTok, and it was like the Will Smith Chris Rock thing, and it went, obviously the Will Smith Chris Rock thing was staged because they ripped off this old movie, and it was an old silent type film that had clearly been shot recently but made to look old.
Right.
And they show them side by side, and there's a host up there doing the same thing, and then the actor hears something about his wife, and he goes up and does exactly the same kind, but it's shot for shot the same.
Yeah.
And people were like, this is mental and all, like, it just shows you.
Yeah.
And then everyone else under it's like, obviously this has been made
They just made sense.
for
then.
this. But how do people not see stuff like that?
But people are fucking so unbelievably stupid.
It's
like, you just have
wild.
to. I've had to every year of my life. I've had to lower expectations of the people around me.
Do you remember people went about 5 years ago, maybe more, they went, oh my God, the trailers dropped for the Friends movie. They're doing a reunion movie. And what they got was footage from everyone having been in separate projects after Friends.
Mm-hmm.
And just put it all together. Because I think was it Cougar Town? Is that
Courtney
Cox's
Cox?
show? I think Jennifer Aniston and maybe Lisa Kudrow guested on that.
Yeah. That's
So
a
they
cameo.
took a few bits from that. But it was all like clearly from different times.
Mm.
None of it made sense in the story.
Mm-hmm.
And someone released that, and then everybody was like, can't wait for this movie. It's going to be unbelievable.
The Friends movie, because that was always the thing, wasn't it? 6 seasons in a movie. That was like your show's made it 6 seasons in a movie. That was like the thing.
What do you mean? Like that was the dream for everyone?
That was like a phrase.
Right.
It was like,
okay.
if your show like is a success,
Oh, right,
it's
right,
gonna
right.
get 6 seasons in a movie.
What was a show that became a movie that was good? Because Entourage was bad. I wanted that to be so good.
There's like been a few bad ones. Obviously.
I'm trying to think what's then become a film that you went, that's a great film. It's so hard
I
to get
can't
right.
remember any series that have become films now.
I quite liked the Hardy Bucks movie. I loved the TV show. I thought the early episodes, like, I could still quote that. I still watch that. I could still watch
It's
it.
so funny, like the lowest budget stuff
Yeah,
that's just
yeah,
been thrown
yeah.
together by like some guys is
Yeah.
like
Oh,
that's
yeah.
almost always the best stuff. All this shit were like those directors that just get like carte blanche, and it's just like, have as much money as you want, make whatever make it fucking 8 hours long,
Yeah, yeah.
go for it. They're always shit.
Yep.
Whereas like Reservoir Dogs, fuck all budget, they had to make it in like basically one room.
Yep.
It's class.
Yep.
Have you watched Killers of the Flower Moon?
No, I wouldn't.
Didn't
do
you
it.
score? You wouldn't do that?
I don't go to the cinema, but it'd be too long for me.
It's
Can't do it.
It's long. It's bad. Because I left The Irishman early, because that was too.
I'll never go to the cinema again.
No,
Never.
but bring your kids.
Oh, I.
Like, that would be so exciting.
I'll
first time you do
never
that.
go to the cinema without my kids again.
Do you think so?
Never.
What do you?
I went out on a high once upon a time in Hollywood.
I haven't seen that, but that's long.
It is long, but it's brilliant. It is brilliant. It's such a big like Hollywood movie, obviously, but like I loved it. I thought DiCaprio and Brad Pitt are unbelievable in it. Everybody's really good in it. The fact that it's like taking that like kind of like the Manson family kind of thing and then messed about with it.
Yeah.
I love it. Like Inglourious Bastards, I like it when they fuck with it a bit.
Yeah.
But it's not like they're not blurred like you're talking about Remember the Titans. They're clearly going, this isn't the way this happened, but just enjoy it.
Yeah, have
I
fun.
loved it.
Enjoy
Did you
the
look
ride.
up, Dan? Did you look at TV shows that become movies here?
Yeah, but most of them aren't. It's not like a Friends becoming a movie. It's going back. So it's like Star Trek and stuff like that they're saying. So it's not
Yeah.
quite the same.
Oh.
It's
Or
kinda like-
Mission Impossible.
It's like a world.
Is it a TV show?
Yeah, originally.
Because you could be like Batman.
Yeah.
Like Batman was a series with
Although
Adam West and
they're
all.
doing
and
it
then
in reverse now, aren't they? Well, they'll do like a movie, and then
Young Offenders.
because they don't have ideas now for TV shows, they go just make it a series. Like Taken.
Is it a series now?
The movie has become a series with a guy who is absolutely not Liam Neeson, and I'm seeing that happen a lot.
Well, there's a lot, like even those Marvel ones, there's like wee mini series
Yeah,
that
yeah,
go
yeah.
like alongside, like little spin off things.
I'm so
Do you ever
in that
watch
world.
Joey?
For
Like the spin off of
Matt
Friends?
I talked about this to someone recently and say I think at a gig recently and saying the first few episodes of that I loved it because I was in such denial. I was like,
Yeah.
well, it's him, it's his own show. He's hilarious in Friends. This is going to be brilliant.
Yeah.
So and I'm cracking up at the jokes. And then someone pointed out to me, that's terrible. And I was like, no. And I watched it and went, oh, this is not.
It's dog
This
shit.
is not how you doing. Fucking bored, Joy. I'm fucked off, mate. I don't like it. It's on Channel 5 as well. Mental.
Yeah, Joey wasn't exactly carrying Friends, was he?
No.
But it was such equal roles. Those 6, like, we'll never get it again.
Nah.
We'll never get it. Number one, you don't have TV shows where there's 6 main characters anymore.
Yeah,
That doesn't
yeah, yeah.
happen. There's 2,
Yeah.
maybe 3.
Yeah.
But you'll never have 6 kind of even.
Who's your favourite Friends character out of those 6?
I mean,
Who gave you the most laughs?
everyone's going to be like, oh, Matthew Perry, Chandler.
Not
'cause
for me.
he's dead, no.
Hilarious, but not for
I
me.
have a really strong least favourite.
Can I guess?
Yeah.
Monica.
No, I hate Ross.
My favourite character. My favourite character in Friends,
I hate
Ross.
I hate him. I hate him so much. He's the least believable character. In the like Ross and Rachel stuff, when it's like when he's being sincere and serious, grand. But they took him to this ridiculous extreme of how stupid he was and how
Oh, okay.
batshit insane he was.
Right.
My sandwich. Shut up. That's too much.
I think he's the best.
It's a sandwich.
Mm.
A moist maker. Fuck up.
Your favourite?
I think it was Chandler.
Foster?
Probably Ross as well.
Yeah.
What?
Enjoyed. Yeah.
I think Chandler was probably mine as a rogue. I liked just because she was never. We were never overexposed to Phoebe.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It was always just a little. Ooh, and the most it ever was like the Mike or the David story.
Can I say? I fancy Phoebe the most out of the 3 of them. And
That's crazy talk.
there you go.
You're such a hipster.
I think Lisa Kudrow's a beautiful woman.
Oh, I fancy. Bet you Ringo's your favorite Beatle.
Nah, he's shit. he's by far the worst.
No, have you watched the documentary?
Get back.
The 9-hour documentary?
Yeah,
You watched all of it?
Oh, yeah.
Me too. I loved it.
loved it.
Ringo's the only fucking professional in the whole band.
Do you know, going into that, my favourite was probably George Harrison. I love George Harrison.
Yeah.
Because
He's
I
the
love,
cool guy's favorite.
I love the Traveling Wilburys.
I don't know what that is.
That was the band he created after the Beatles.
Right, yeah.
Which was a super
Because
group.
there was Traveling Wilburys, and then there was like Wings was
Wings was Paul
McCartney's,
McCartney's band.
and then John
But-
Lennon was like being dead.
The Traveling Wilburys was George Harrison, Bob Dylan, Roy Orbison, Tom Petty, and I think the guy from the Eurythmics,
Jeff Lynne.
Jeff Lynne.
Yeah, it's like PSG.
Unbelievable. And their songs, I love the Traveling Wilburys. So when Get Back came on, just after I started like getting into the Traveling Wilburys, I was like, George Harrison's the man. So I felt like he was a little bit of a bitch.
Yeah, he was
He
a bit
was
like,
leaving a
I'm
lot and all."
leaving. I'm sick of it.
Actually, Paul McCartney kind of came across as kind of sound in it.
Yeah, because he produced it.
Oh yeah, fair. Do you see their new video?
I haven't. Is it great?
No.
Oh no!
It's Paul McCartney and Ringo. But they're sort of CGI'd into old Beatles footage to make it look like John Lennon.
No.
And George Harrison are kind of like there too. And it's just so bad.
I hate that
It's
shit.
the weirdest video I've seen.
Did you get everybody hated Yoko when they watched that? Everybody was like, why is she just sitting there? It's so fucking weird. Like, she's just sitting there,
Yeah.
like, watching them rehearse. It's so fucking, like just go, like, you don't have to be beside them the whole time. Why are you just watching them rehearse? It's fucking strange. And I thought that. And then for 1 second, I, like, kind of introspected and went, oh, I'm just watching them rehearse.
Yeah. Yeah. Go away. It should just be us guys that are the original lineup of the Beatles. I don't know. I mean, some people just are like that, and that kind of comes with the they're like, if I'm here, my wife's here, and you sort of go, if everyone knows that going in is fine with it, then there's no problem.
Yeah, you just don't hang out with that guy.
I
Like with you, I know your wife's never going to be here.
never going to be on the pod.
Yeah.
Never.
I'll never speak to her.
You will. You will. I'd say there'll be a gig or something.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Because she comes to like the big ones, like the exciting ones. It's like, this is a new thing that I haven't
Yeah.
done before, or like whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I only want her to see it when it's at its best.
Yeah.
I go, come to this.
My girlfriend has seen the absolute shite.
Yeah.
Because we started going out when I started comedy.
Oh.
So she was
well,
my-
yeah, probably this. No, not the same, but don't get me wrong, she's seen me do horrific shows.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. My girlfriend was like my bringer. Which for people who don't know is like in London, when you're starting out, there's like open mics where you have to bring an audience member, otherwise you're not allowed to perform. Which,
is that still happening?
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so you have to like bring a person, and then there's like a crowd there for people to perform to. Which, in hindsight, it starts like that, and then you're like, great, I'm not doing bringers anymore, I'm doing like actual shows. But then you start touring, and it's like, I brought everybody.
Right, yeah.
Everything's a bringer at the end of the day.
They become bigger bringer shows.
Yeah, you have to bring like 1,000 people.
It's funny how like
So hard.
do you ever see people who for their first show they just bring all their mates down and they kill it because it's their mates, and then the next gig they do where they don't bring their mates, they're like, what's happening here?
Yeah.
Why did everyone not crack up when I walked on?
Yeah.
You know?
And also, I don't understand those people. It's crazy to me to do your first gig in front of
Yeah.
your mates.
Yeah.
I didn't want anyone to see me
Same.
for like the longest. I was like, let me get okay at
No,
this.
I brought a couple of guys from tech that were in my class because they were sort of stand-up fans,
Mm.
and I knew that they would. They kind of, they were like, "Oh, we're coming to that," because they kind of helped me take the steps to email to get the gig.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was like, "They're
What
not."
was your
gonna-
first one?
Black Box
Oh.
in 2008, and it was the line in the green room, small room.
Yeah, yeah.
And the lineup, Paul Curry was running the club. It was
Nice.
Paul Curry, me, Jerry McBride. Do you know Jerry writes for the Waterford Whispers now?
Oh, I know the Waterford Whispers. but I
Okay,
don't
Jerry
know-
would do a lot of their stuff. Neil Dugan and Dermot Core.
I don't know basically any of those people.
Dermot did Sketchy, which was he had a stand-up and sketch show on BBC Northern Ireland for a couple of series, 6 episodes each.
I thought you meant like
Big budget.
the night, the like club night at Stiff Kitten. Sketchy, wasn't that Stiff
Oh,
Kitten?
yeah, same thing. This was
Yeah.
Sketchy with Dermot Core. It was like big sketch show. He had that. Neil Dugan, probably started around the same time as Colin Murphy, Jake O'Kane and those boys. So, like after I'd done, like 10 years after I'd done the gig, everyone on that gig was like headlining around Ireland. And that was the weirdest thing, because how many times you look back at old gigs you've done and go, well, he doesn't do it anymore, she doesn't do it anymore,
Yeah.
they don't do it, they do the odd thing.
Yeah.
So it's just weird. My first time was people that were properly into it.
Yeah, I guess my first open mic. Although now, like, I think on my first open mic set that I did, a guy, Horatio Gould, was there.
Yeah, yeah.
And we work together loads now.
Yeah.
Like, we do that Finn versus the internet.
I think Mickey was that for me.
Yeah.
One of the guys at the early gigs, my
You come up
age,
with.
that I was gigging with, that's still obviously doing it.
It's very, like, that's...
I don't understand anyone who stops doing stand-up.
But we were talking about this yesterday. You have
Yeah.
to be just an ignorant, like an idiot.
Yeah, to
keep doing it?
continue with it.
You have to be an
Yes.
idiot.
Yeah, yeah.
You have to be so stupid to be like, oh, I'll get them next time.
Yeah.
You won't?
Yeah, I didn't do well for about 6 years.
Yeah.
There was a period where I never ever did well, And I was like, let's go.
It's crazy.
Like, this is the one.
You have to be full stupid.
It's like a gambling addict. I'll win
Yeah.
it back. I'm gonna win it back.
Doubling down, yeah.
You're 400 grand debt. They've taken your knees. Get me back up. I've got a new bit about
I've
porn
got
in the
ankles.
hedge.
Let's go.
Yeah. You've got Ulster Hall coming up.
I do in March. It's on sale, and it's so funny. The Ulster Hall website's so bad. Like, my mum's mate went on to buy tickets, and she was like, "I thought I was getting scammed," so I just quit Google Chrome.
Why? Just to the layout.
Just
and
because
all?
the layout, she was like, it just didn't look real. Like, it looked like it wasn't a proper website, so she just quit out of it, which is so
Can
funny.
you not do it through your website?
Not the full not like taking right through to get.
Oh, the last bit of it. Yeah.
Yeah, the bit where it's like little. It looks like it was made in 1995.
Opera House website. When you go into my show, when you do the drop down, it's only for like so I was doing run in October and run November. It only shows you October. You have to go into a totally separate link to get the drop down
That's
for
so
November. I'm like, why can there not just be a list?
That's so stupid.
Stuff like that always happens with.
That's so.
Like they make it difficult for you to get it
It's partly my fault because I'm doing it in the round.
because you're the admin for the website.
Yeah, because I'm the
You
web
run their
designer.
socials.
Yeah,
You're doing it in the round. That's right.
Yeah, so I stage in the middle of the room, like similar to the boxing, but that does mean that some people buy tickets and then send me a screenshot, and their ticket says ringside on it. Because that's just what their layout is or whatever.
Right.
But people are getting spooked because some of the like tickets say stage seating, which is just the seats that are on where the stage would be normally.
Yes, yep.
But I think people are worried that I have people that I have people sat on the stage,
Yeah.
and just like
Yeah.
beside me, just as like backup. But yeah, it's fucking mad.
That'll be a fun way to do it.
Yeah, it might be awful, but I like just doing wee weird things.
Yeah.
To see what it's
Yeah.
like. I've seen people do stand up shows in the round. They seem really cool.
I told you I did it in Galway, and the first time I did it, the first set of the evening, I was like a pig on a spit. I just continued to rotate, like at exactly the same speed for the whole time.
Yeah.
And then it took me once to do it to go, you don't need to do that. So then I kind of watched other people.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's okay to deliver that punchline to this side.
Yeah.
And then the next time you go to this side.
Yeah.
You know.
You can't like do the whole punchline while doing like
Oh,
a
I tried.
360.
I tried.
But somebody,
The owl they were calling me. My body's dead to see.
somebody from my agency was like, "Oh, we'll just put on one in the round to like practice in like London or something."
Oh, okay.
I was like, "Oh, is there like small like in the round?" Yeah, there's one that's like only 400 seats. I was like,
Yeah. That's like saying, I did my ACL and I just want to like kick the ball a bit on the grass to make sure it's fine. They're like, you're playing in Champions League final. Try it as a starter in the Champions League final for Inter Milan.
"Yeah,
That'd be great. What date in March is that?
24th."
I don't know my dates either.
I don't know. But why? I don't get why people's posters have to say what venue stuff's in.
You think just the city's okay?
City, just
Yeah.
say the city. Like if you're coming, you're coming. Although people were annoyed. I think you've had this before. They're like, "Where's Manchester?" I'm like, "Salford."
Ah, yeah.
It's 20 minutes up the road. Like
Yeah.
Salford.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But they're like, "Why are you not doing Manchester?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "I fucking am."
Or you put it up and they go,
That's not Manchester.
hey mate, any plans for Wickham? Are you doing a Wickham one? I'm looking at the poster, mate. I don't see Wickham. Well, if it's not on the poster, I'm not doing it. Or what about this one? This show's sold out. There's Glasgow there. That's sold out. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Sold out.
Yeah.
What about on the day? All right, mate. Do you have any extra tickets for that? What do you mean? Oh, mate, just wondering if you have any personal tickets for that or something. Also, why would I be holding back tickets? Why would I? Or mate, is there more tickets for that? Not if it's sold out, mate. That's what it means. It's sold. There's nothing. You're
gone. It's gone.
You're
It's
trying to get something that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Me and Willie T talked about this in a pod. Saying people go into a shop and go, "All right, mate, I don't see any of this. Is there any in the back?" There's nothing. There's no back. There's no. People
The
think
whole shop's here.
People think their problems, the solution to their problems, is in the back.
No, it's not.
You have it waiting for me in the. Hey, mate, there's no mediums left in this. Do you have any in the back? Yes, mate. We have one medium. That's it. That's the only thing we have in the back is the size you want in the top you want.
Do you ever? I got offered. I was buying a jumper in Copenhagen,
Oh, aye.
And
It's a long way to go to bed. You ever heard of online shopping?
and I was like, do you have this in a large? And they were like, no. And my girlfriend just walks up to one of the mannequins and goes, that's a large. Can we have that one? And I was like,
Whoa.
you can do that?
Yeah.
You can just
But
take.
then
You
I'd
can
ask
leave
for a few
in.
pound off. That's a display.
Is that
Display model.
supposed to be cheaper?
Oh.
Why would that be cheaper? What's the mannequin done to the jumper? Sweat.
Yeah. It's just sitting out. You know, it's a display model.
But is it?
It's like if you buy a car, you can get discount on like a showroom car, something like that.
Oh really?
Yeah. I don't know.
I
There's something about that. A display model.
think for cars, if it's been like test driven loads,
See if you go in
Be
the
like a
electrical store
courtesy.
and you're buying a TV.
the display because it's been on loads.
Mhm.
Oh, how big's the TV in your house? Because mine's not big enough at the
Put that-
minute, and I want to get a big one. But my girlfriend's like anti big TV.
Right. I don't know. I'd say mine's regular.
Re-
50,
50's big.
55 inch,
55's pretty big, I would say.
maybe something like that.
But I think that's what I would want. I think mine's 32, which is
Oh no.
that's embarrassing. That's like a monitor for a computer. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like some of those are 32. Yeah,
This
that's
one
the
here?
TV in my house.
No.
that's crazy
Yeah,
talk.
yeah.
That's
I'd
mad.
like to get a projector when I'm older.
It has to be a good one. See those people that have those shit projectors that connect to their phone, and they go, "Look, it's on the wall,"
Yeah,
and it looks dog shit.
yeah. My mate brought us round to watch a World Cup match on a projector, and he fucking ruined my month.
Yeah, it's
The lads were like, "It's fucking terrible."
It's awful.
About 70 minutes in, it got dark outside, and then we were like, "Okay, fair enough."
Now you can see it. Now we're getting there.
Such a dickhead, that guy.
But I
Um,
want the big TV for movies and stuff.
Yeah,
I like watching movies.
me too. 24th of March,
24th of March.
Vittorio Angelone.
Victorio Ancient.
If you
Yeah,
want to
that
sit
is a thing.
ringside, you'll be in a boxing ring.
I'll be in a boxing ring. I will be fighting while doing the stand-up show.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll put the link for the tickets in the description for this. I want to plug Australia just as a country, just as a destination.
It's good.
It's a
I
good
pretended I went there when I was 8, and my teacher called me out of my bullshit.
spot. Oh no. Nothing worse. Nothing worse.
Because we're doing a project about Australia, and I was like, I've been there.
Yeah.
And
I
she
did
was like,
stuff
where?
that
I
too.
was like, Australia.
What part of it? All of it.
You know, like a kangaroo sort of.
I'm there in February. So ShaneTalkComedy.com. Come and see those shows, please God. And Dubai in January. Something. ShaneTalkComedy.com. Towards the end of January?
Yeah, 27th, 28th, something like that.
Yeah, towards the end of January. Vittorio, thanks very much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
And shuffling you're supposed to have breakfast for your mum.
Oh yeah,
You still
no,
get
I'm
there?
now having lunch with my mum instead of breakfast
Thank
with
God.
my
Where are
mum.
you going to go?
She says there's a nice place in the Craigie Road. It doesn't sound real.
There's a cafe on the Craigie Road.
Oh, but I don't think it'll be a chain. She's not a chain lady.
Right.
She'll get something. She's a bit of a hipster.
Oh,
She
okay.
likes weird stuff,
Right.
different things. We'll go there, and then we have to take my brother to hospital
Shit.
to get a boot. Snapped his ankle roller skating.
What did you say?
25.
Don't do that. All right, man. Thanks a lot.